Yes, guys. So a pleasant good evening. As usual, yours truly, Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. And of course, this evening we join for our live that we usually have every Sunday evening, a question and answer. And of course, we have a very interesting discussion, or a number of things rather, to discuss with you guys this evening. Keep in mind that we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. We are also live on our YouTube. We are Batson and Associates Trinidad on YouTube. So keep those two social media aspects there available. And as we continue with our discussion this evening, we have some questions that was actually asked from a previous program that we did as it relates to things like poor circulation, digestive issues. We also going to touch a bit on PMS because that consistently is an issue that affects a number of individuals. We have the introduction of some of our very useful and products that have the ability to really assist with a number of different challenges and issues. And of course, as I mentioned before, keep in mind it is a live question and answer based on, as the discussion progresses. So even though we may be discussing circulation, even though we may be discussing the issues associated with PMS, issues associated with depression, because we have some serious challenges with individuals as it relates to depression. That is something that we actually going to speak about as well. We also going to discuss a number of issues as it relates to cleansing and detoxifying the body. A number of individuals have serious challenges as it relates to defecating. Some persons are severely constipated. Keep in mind again that we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates Ltd. Let me say a pleasant good evening to Mr. Christopher Samuel, Ms. Dawn Lowe. Blessed night, Doc. Dawn Lowe, good evening. Dr. Batson, good evening to all. So get everyone listening. A number of individuals consistently have challenges, and you're always looking for an answer to issues that you may have. A perfect example is headaches. I remember dealing with a client maybe about a year ago. They came to us. This was actually in the St. James branch, and of course, we're going to give you those telephone numbers shortly. You're going to actually see it running underneath the live there, so you'll be able to take those telephone numbers. And this particular individual was a 15-year-old girl who came to us. She was brought by her parents, of course. And the issue that she had is that she had severe headaches for 4 years. Now, you could imagine, if I have a headache for one day, I am of no use to anyone. I'm of no use to myself. I'm of no use to my family. I'm of no use to my clients, patients, because, of course, with a headache, where you have this consistent pain and throbbing pain in the head, you wouldn't be able to function at all. So imagine someone who has a headache or have consistent headaches for the past 4 years. That is going to be very frustrating, very challenging. So in any case, she was brought by her parents, and they actually would have done some tests before. They would have gone to other medical professionals and, specialist consultants in internal medicine. And, they would have seen pediatrician. They would have seen individuals associated with neurology, psychologists, even psychiatrists, because, they were doing various tests, and the tests were showing that nothing was out of the way, nothing was showing up imbalanced, there was no injury in the brain as far as they are aware, based on the tests that they would have done. So they would have done CT scans, MRI, whatever the case may be. So when they came to Batson Associates, we do the live nutritional blood cell analysis. And with that blood cell analysis test, one of the things that we were actually able to determine is that this particular individual had serious toxicity in their bowels. Now, based on anatomy and physiology, the human body and the gastrointestinal system is a very important system in the body. That is actually referred to as your second brain. Your gastrointestinal system comprises 70% of your immune system. It also plays a significant role in the assimilation or the digestion of food. And it also plays a significant role as it relates, as I mentioned before, to the immune system. So one of the things that we found when we did the blood analysis rather, is that this particular young lady, 15 years, who have been having these headaches for the past 4 years consistently. So at least every day or every other day, this young lady would have had headaches and severe headaches. So when I asked the question on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst on the scale, how bad it was, she mentioned 11. And this is on a daily or every other day basis. So clearly, this is an individual who has a serious challenge. So as I said, we looked at the gastrointestinal system. And one of the things that we recommended for this individual was, one, the Alkagen water that we sell, which is a premium alkaline water. And the reason why we recommended the alkaline water is because water plays a significant role in hydration. After oxygen, water is the second most important requirement for the human body. You can go days without food. You cannot go days without water. Eventually, you're going to end up in serious crisis to the point where it could actually be fatal, right? So when we did that and we looked at what we looked at, we realized that this person had a serious gastrointestinal imbalance. They had serious problems with the liver, because your liver, of course, plays a significant role in the conversion of protein to amino acid to protein. She also complained of having problems with her menstrual cycle. So apart from having headaches consistently for 4 years, serious pain as it relates to the menstrual cycle, the cycle actually became irregular. So understand the picture that I'm painting here as regards to this individual. This individual is in serious straits as it relates to their health. And one of the products that we recommended is a 7-channel detox that we carry at Batson Associates, which cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Now, there's a reason why we recommend that product, and that is because it has the ability to cleanse and detoxify the 7 channels of elimination: kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. And we also recommended the Alkagen water, because one of the things I often tell persons is that before you take a proper detox, you need to have proper water. You need to hydrate the body properly. You need to wet those cells, because remember, the objective, you're going to actually clean those cells. So you can't have dry cells, for want of a better expression. You cannot be dehydrated when you're doing a cleanse. That is actually going to be detrimental to you. So the whole long and short of the story is that this individual, in 1 week, had no more headaches. And that has consistently been the case for the last 2 years. So that's to tell you the seriousness of what we do at Batson Associates. Because the thing is, you have different doctors for different times. A lot of people do not understand that. A lot of people don't understand that. If it is you have a situation with your heart, you have to go to a cardiovascular specialist. You might have to go to a pulmonologist. If you have issues with some sort of surgical consultation, so you might have to do remove maybe an organ from the body or something like that, because it has reached the stage where it is so detrimental that it is now life-threatening, then you have no other choice but to go to a surgeon. But when it comes to debilitating diseases, when it comes to what is known as lifestyle challenges, that is where people like Batson Associates comes in, because it is no longer a matter of dealing with the symptomology. Diabetes is a symptomology. Hypertension is a symptomology. Constipation is a symptomology. But what you need to find out is what is the primary or the root cause of the problem. And that is one of the things we do at Batson Associates. So, of course, feel free to give us a call or visit. Those telephone numbers, of course, are below the screen there. Let me say a pleasant good evening to Ms. June Jatan, as well as Abeline Hughes Bernard. Miss Susan Q says, hi, good night. would you at any time be coming to DB location to do consultations, doctor? Yes, I would. The planned consultations or the days that I have in DB, you could always call the DB office and they will give you the information. Keep in mind that in order for me to do your consultation or your review, you must be able, or in doing the testing as it relates to the blood analysis, the magnetic resonance analysis. And let me make something clear. The reason why we do that blood analysis, so you could bring 100 tests for me. You could bring your regular laboratory blood test. So your HbA1c, you might do an ESR, which is an erythrocyte sedimentation ratio. You might do your CBC, which is your complete blood count, where they look at your white blood cells, red blood cells, whatever the case may be. The reason why we do that live nutritional blood cell analysis is because it gives us information, vital information, that we would not be able to get elsewhere. And it gives us information from the foundation aspect of the body, the foundation aspect of anatomy and physiology. So again, feel free to give us a call or visit those telephone numbers and locations. The telephone numbers are below the screen there. The locations, of course, we are located in St. James, which is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. We are also located in Chagonas. Chagonas is the first floor of Money Talks building in Montrose, Chagonas. And we also in Debe. Debe is the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. We also in Tobago. Tobago is the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. So you can call any one of those telephone numbers. You could leave a message. The 3149975 number is actually a WhatsApp number. So in case you have any challenges as regards to, everybody looking at, some sort of economic way to save your money. So you can send a WhatsApp message, and of course, we will in turn return your call. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson Associates, where we support your health naturally. So that cleanse, that 7-channel detox, that cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Feel free to give us a call. We know there are those of you would have had your name down for that product. You can now call and come and collect that 7-channel detox. Very important in cleansing and detoxifying the liver, kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Now, someone listening to this for the first time might say, well, why do I need a product like that? What makes this product so good? A number of things. This is a product with a long track record. It has been used by thousands of individuals. And, one of the things, the easiest way, or one of the best things about this product is that it is easy to use. It is a liquid, or it is a tea that basically you would steep, and it gives you a certain amount of tea, basically 4 liters, which you would now put in your refrigerator, and you would take out a certain amount on a daily basis based on your situation. Because the thing is, it is a very easy product to use, but at the end of the day, I am a very cautious individual as regards to when you're dealing with nutrition and what people have to put into their body. So it's very important to ensure that you follow proper instructions and proper protocols in order to get the results that you're looking for. Very, very important. So you can always call, get that information for that 7-channel detox that cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Now, there were some questions that we had before. Keep in mind, as I said, it is an open forum. You can ask your questions. You can, of course, get that vital information as regards to what we're doing. We started a bit earlier today. We normally start 8:30. So I know a lot of persons would have not joined us as yet, but keep in mind, you can actually share the live. You can tag us, and of course, help someone feel better. One of the questions that we actually had from one of our listeners on the last program that we would have done, we discussed PMS, which is postmenopausal syndrome. And postmenopausal syndrome continues to be a serious issue that affects a number of women. So I know there are a lot of persons out there who care about the female members of their family, sons who care about their mothers, husbands who care about their wives, brothers who care about their sisters, children who care about their parents, their mothers primarily. And, this postmenopausal syndrome continues to play a significant role, negative role in the life of a lot of women. You know, sometimes women are misunderstood. You have women who may be in relationships. You have reached a certain age, whether it's your spouse, whether you are in a common law relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be. But women, when they go through PMS situations, and ladies, let me tell you something. This is not something to be ashamed about. It is not something to hide. It is not something. I don't understand why when people are sick, they think they need to hide it. No, I'm not saying to go on the top of a mountain and tell everybody is sick. We're not saying that. But the thing is, if you need help and you sit down in a corner and keep quiet, nobody don't know your problem. If you speak or you ask a question, or somebody send a video for you from Batson Associates, then you can now look, you can listen. We have numerous lives here. You might know who Batson Associates is. You want to know who is this man with locks coming to tell you that he knows anything about health. So you might be a bit, you know, apprehensive, and nothing is wrong with that. I believe in testing the waters. I believe in checking people out in terms of their reputation and that type of thing. And Batson Associates has an extremely excellent reputation as it relates to a number of things. Just recently, we had a client who came to us, was getting problems to conceive for years. Now, she is 5 months along and very happy and very fat. And that is because when she came to Batson Associates, we did that live nutritional blood cell analysis. We did that consultation. We did that food detox. And when we realized what was her primary issue, we dealt with the issue, because infertility was not her problem. Infertility was a secondary consequence of a primary reason. You want me to repeat that for you? Infertility, or her infertility, her inability to procreate, had nothing to do with the infertility itself. That was the symptomology. Her problem, she had numerous problems. She had hormonal imbalance. She had, her womb was out of place. So she also had an alignment issue. She had serious problems with her gastrointestinal system. Most women who have serious problems with polycystic ovarian syndrome, fibroids, adenomyosis, and all issues. If you are female and you have a painful menstrual cycle, ladies, that is not normal. Don't let anybody fool you with that. The people who end up with colon cancer, women who end up with cervical cancer, who end up with uterine cancer, who end up with cancer of the cervix, it didn't start as cancer of the cervix. It didn't start as uterine cancer. It started as polycystic ovaries. It started as hormonal imbalance. It started as improper digestion. It started with constipation. Because the thing is, think about it. If you do not defecate properly, right? And let me explain something to you. You could have bowel movement daily, multiple bowel movement on a daily basis, and you are still constipated. People assume that constipation is only when you do not evacuate waste on a daily basis. So in other words, people would say you are only constipated if you go to the washroom like 3 times for the week. So you might go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. No, you can have a bowel movement daily and still be constipated. If you have things like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, diverticulitis, those are all what? What are those referred to as? Those are referred to as inflammatory bowel conditions. You notice that word inflammatory, you notice that word inflammation coming up a lot now. Let me say a pleasant good evening to Miss Kamala Samaru. Always a pleasure to have you. She says, good night, Dr. Batson, and all listeners. Miss Betty Phillip, good evening, Dr. Batson. June Jatan. Thank you very much for the compliment, my dear. Thank you so very much. Always a pleasure to have you on. So, ladies, be your, well, in this case, I can't say your brothers. In this case, ladies, be your sister's keeper. Tell people about Batson Associates. Tell your female friends who are having problems with depression. Just up to recently, we had a client, nice lady, came to us. Serious problems with depression, anxiety, not sleeping, using a certain amount of medication. We did not take her off of the medication. Of course not. But we assisted in regulating the body. We assisted in balancing that central nervous system. Because let me tell you something. Do you know that there are a lot of persons who are sleep deprived? When people fall down, when you see people have strokes, listen to what I'm saying. When someone gets a stroke, if you get an ischemic stroke, and you have two types of stroke primarily. You have ischemic strokes and you have hemorrhagic strokes. Hemorrhagic strokes are bleeding strokes. So it means in your brain here, your cerebral hemisphere, if you do not, the blood vessels in your brain are very fine blood vessels. The majority of them. Here has microcirculation. The back of your eyes, in the brain itself. Your major blood vessels come up here in terms of the arteries. And then you have, so the circulatory system in the body behaves like a tree, the trunk of a tree. So the trunk is your, the trunk is the arteries, the branches are your veins, and the smaller branches, which the leaves are usually on, those are your capillaries, right? So when you have poor circulation in the brain, you are going to get a stroke. And there are some people who say, you know, I can't get a stroke, or, you know, that wouldn't happen to me. Let me tell you something. Use God. Now you might be saying, Dr. Batson behaving as if he's God because he's telling you something, but that's not what we're doing. I remember dealing with someone who came to us who was having problems with dizziness, lightheadedness. And what we did a magnetic resonance analysis scan on this individual. Now, in medicine, you have disagreements, you have various opinions as regards to, and people entitled to that. People don't understand. In professions, in the legal professions, attorneys have various varying opinions. That's why we have a court. That's why you have a judicial system. If it is you believe you have a dispute with someone, you are now represented by an attorney. Either side would be represented by an attorney. You go to court, people hear the case, whatever the case may be. There is some sort of arbitration, maybe first, or some sort of collective reasoning there. That's what I want to say. In the field of architecture, engineering, you have varying opinions, and that's the world that we live in. Not everybody's going to see things the same way, right? So we could always agree to disagree. And that's why I always tell persons I am not in the politics of medicine. So back to what I was saying. So when the person came to me, they brought a CT scan, they brought an MRI, and the CT scan and MRI showed that everything was pretty fine. Okay, I'm saying, but the man, it was a male. I say, but you're not mad. If it is you're saying that you're getting dizziness, you're getting lightheadedness, your vision is blurred, if it is you're saying you're having severe headaches when you do get headaches, then something is wrong. Now, what the doctors told him, because they reached a point where they were quite fed up, and they said, listen to me, we checked out everything and nothing is wrong with you. You might need to go and see a psychiatrist. So the person came to us and we did the live blood analysis. Automatically, when the blood was placed under the high-powered microscope, this person had severe amounts of what is known as erythrocyte aggregation. Erythrocytes are red blood cells. Aggregation is aggregate. You know what aggregate is? Cement. So if you have erythrocyte aggregation, it means your red blood cells are clumping together like cement. Listen to me. You don't want that to be happening to you. Because anyone who has gotten a stroke, that happened to them or was happening to them on a consistent basis, and they may have either not been aware or they may not have known what to do, right? So in that particular situation, when that individual came to us and we did the blood analysis, I said, sir, from what I am seeing, you have serious problems with your red blood cells clumping together. You have poor circulation and you also have poor oxygenation. Because remember, if you do not have proper blood supply to your cells in the body, what's going to happen to you? Remember, blood is responsible for the transportation of what? oxygen, nutrients, hormones. There are a number of things that blood supply to cells. Cells are the basic building block of the body. So in order for your entire body, the entire human body to be healthy, you have to have healthy cells. Healthy cells give you healthy tissues. Healthy tissues give you healthy organs. Healthy organs give you healthy organ systems. And healthy organ systems will give you a healthy body. Right? So in other words, if you have a kidney cell, so the cells like nephrons, for example, which is a part of the kidney. If you have healthy cells in the nephrons, then it means you're going to have a healthy kidney. If you have a healthy kidney, then you're going to have a healthy urinary system, which is your kidney, your bladder, and that type of thing. So if you have a healthy urinary system, which is an organ system, then you now have a healthy body, because the human body comprises 11 organ systems in total. You have your central nervous system, you have your circulatory system, you have your endocrine system. So your cardiovascular system would be your heart, the pulmonary aspect of your heart, so your arteries, veins, capillaries, that type of thing. Then you have your endocrine system, which is your glands. So that's your thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary, adrenal. So when you have those organ systems, give you a healthy body. So from that cellular level, if you do not have proper circulation, you are going to end up with strokes or with a stroke. And the thing is, hemorrhagic strokes. And if you know people who get strokes, one of the things we do at Batson Associates is actually stroke rehabilitation. We're going to be doing that very soon in a much better way. Because anyone who has a stroke need proper rehabilitation, and the quicker you do rehabilitation, the greater your likelihood is, or the greater your chances are to come back to normalcy, where you have all your functions. Because remember, the way strokes operate, depending on the part of the brain or the cerebral hemisphere that the strokes interfere with, or the stroke effect is going to interfere with various functions. So it could interfere with mobility, it could interfere with your eyesight. There are some people who get strokes and they end up blind. There are some people who get strokes and you may have mobility, but you cannot see. There are some persons who get stroke depending on the part of the cerebral hemisphere that it affects. It interferes with your cognitive function. It interferes with your speech. Good? You're following what I'm saying? Now, one of the products we carry at Batson Associates is a product known as Circulation Regeneration Tea. One of my favorite products. It's a very good product for persons who have problems with high blood pressure. You actually can see the product right here. And the thing with that is that with hypertension, not to stray from what we're discussing, is with high blood pressure, you have something known as pulmonary hypertension. Now, and I'll explain that a bit later on. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Miss Natalie Kimlois Britton. She says, you're making sense. Good night, everyone. Thank you so very much for that. Shireen Jack, good night, Dr. Batson. No name, Noel. Hi, Doc from Canada. We have Canada in the house. Welcome to you. We also have Margot. That's why movement is important. A body in motion stays in motion. It helps the blood to circulate throughout. I totally agree. And let me finish what you said there. A body in motion stays in motion. A body at rest remains at rest. That's a law in physics, right? So it's very, very important to really address that. Ms. Shireen Jack says, how to use that? Oh, the circulation regeneration tea is a well-crafted tea. You can watch it here. It's right up there. And the thing with this is, so you normally take like a half teaspoon or 1 teaspoon in 8 to 12 ounces of water. Now, when you're making tea, people, don't make no mini. I get very annoyed when people bring tea for me and they bring it in a little teacup. So don't waste my time. I want tumbler. Give me proper a nice big teacup. So you take either half teaspoon and you hot the water, you throw it in your hot water and you steep it for about 5 minutes. So you cover it down with a nice saucer. Ideally, no milk and sugar. Ideally, right? You don't want to, you want the tea, you want all the active ingredients in the tea to do what it is supposed to do. And you drink that like a normal cup of tea. And you will see the improvement that you get in your pulmonary circulation, which is circulation above your heart, And we know systemic circulation is circulation below your heart. The name of the product is Circulation Regeneration Tea. You can feel free to give us a call or visit, and we will ensure that you have your pack of Circulation Regeneration Tea. The telephone numbers are there. Ms. Hazel Cummins says, totally agree with the size of my tea mug. Don't want a teacup. Exactly. Don't give me any small tea. We're not going through that. Ms. Shireen Jack says, that's how I just take it because I have no. Okay, good. Right. Okay, it has no direction on it. Okay, well, normally, as we say, recommended by as it is recommended by a healthcare provider. So no problem, Ms. Jack. We will address that. But it gives you the results as it relates. So who can use this tea? Varicose veins, spider veins. If you have those things, pins and needles, cramping in your cars, burning under your feet. What I normally recommend, though, there are other circulation products that we have. But this circulation tea works well, especially for the persons who have elevated blood pressure. Especially persons with elevated blood pressure, especially persons with pulmonary hypertension. We live after God is Google. Go and research pulmonary hypertension, and you will see. Do you know how many people walking around with that and don't know they have pulmonary hypertension? And let me tell you something. When you have pulmonary hypertension for extended periods of time or for a long time, what happens is that your heart becomes enlarged. So when the doctor tells you that you have an enlarged heart, and that is not a congenital problem, so it is not something that you were born with, it means that you would have had pulmonary hypertension or ischemia or serious issues with circulation for years. Because remember, your heart is the pump that circulates blood throughout the entire circulatory system. So if you have issues in elevation in blood pressure, you are going to end up with a damaged heart. And that's what happens to a number of individuals. So, you know, I always tell people the saying, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Your health is your wealth. And one of my favorites is, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. It does not pay to be sick. We know that. All of us, you have family, you have things to do. We have things to do out here, you know. It's not wasting time and sitting down and playing games. We have serious things to do and serious things to accomplish. You have your family to take care of. You have your children to send to school. You have your children to take care of. You want to see them get big. You want to see them reach to adulthood. We are not God. We cannot tell the future. But at the end of the day, you need to stack the odds in your favor. You know what I mean? What are your chances? Better your chances of being healthy. And a lot of people don't understand that. So that same detox, the Santulan, that 7-channel detox, feel free to call the office. We have persons whose names that was there. We ensure that you get your supply, so make sure and call the office. There is a change in price, and I'm going to let you know right now that that product is not the same price as it was before. And obviously, if you look at inflation and what is going on, it is common sense that that product cannot be the same price. Okay? This is your health you're talking about. This is a product that have the ability to clean and detoxify the 7 channels of elimination in the body: kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So those telephone numbers are there. You can call the office bright and early, because listen to me, that product is going to finish. So make sure and get your supply. Those telephone numbers are there. Remember the location. We are located on the 1st floor of Money Talks building. That's Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. That telephone number for Shogunas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. It's there. You can WhatsApp us at 314-9975. You could request the price of the Santulan, and we will ensure that we do that for you. Yes, Ms. Jack, we have Santulan in stock now, so you can call the office and make the necessary arrangements, or message us on 314-9975 to get what you need to get. Okay, Ms. Shireen Jack says, I bought this already. I have to get a next pack. Okay, good. Miss, you have a fancy name there, boy. Okay, we're going to go with How do you pronounce that boy? Anyway, she says, Dr. Batson, good night to you. What if I don't have any of those issues? Can I still take the circulation tea? Of course you can. We will guide you accordingly because I use the circulation regeneration tea. I use this tea. It's a tea I love. It really, really is a good tea. And I don't have any hypertension as far as I'm aware because I check my blood pressure. I don't do it on a daily basis, but I check it. You know, I try my best to remain as active as possible and take as the best care of myself as I am aware. So I don't have any problems and I use it. So, you know, one of the things we have to understand and what we do at Batson Associates is not only where we are reactive, where we actually help persons who are sick at that point in time, but it's also a matter of being proactive. So it would be proactive to use Santulan. I don't have any issues as far as I'm aware, but Santulan is a product I use. I already have my Santulan steeping there. It is already prepared, and I'm going to start my Santulan next week, please God. Because I need a detox. I need to have that 7-channel detox: kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. And let me tell you something. If you feel you have nice skin, if you feel you have energy, if you think you sleep good, you get a pack of that Santulan and use it and tell me something. Keep in mind, though, we strongly recommend, if you do not drink water, and those of you, you know yourself out there, those of you, you don't like water, you don't like to use public washrooms, so you don't drink water, ladies especially, please ensure that you start to hydrate your body. You can also get the Alkagen water, this premium alkaline water that we carry at Batson Associates, and get yourself sorted out. So we recommend, for example, you could do 3 bottles of water, the 3 5-liter bottle package. You use that water for the use out the 3 bottles, and then you start the Santulan. And the reason for that is we do not want you to end up with problems. If you do not drink water and you are dehydrated, you are a serious risk to yourself with a lot of things. I'll give you an example quickly. There was this individual that came to us, and they came for a consultation. When they came to us, they had a serious problem with the skin. They have large breakouts all on the face, the back, the hands, and that type of thing. It was really bad. They went to skin specialists, and they went to what are they called, boy? Dermatologists. So they went to a dermatologist, and the dermatologist did various tests and told them that they have this thing, atopic dermatitis. Then they went to somebody else and they said it's not atopic dermatitis, it was something else. And they got like maybe 3 different diagnoses. When they came to us, and of course we did the blood analysis, me visibly looking at them, I already realized what the problem was. But I just needed confirmation to look at the level of inflammation and the body from the foundation aspect of looking at how much inflammation in the body. You know what was that person's problem? When I questioned them further, when rather the consultant questioned them further, that person didn't used to drink water, and they went and look at some sort of cleanse, because we have a lot of fads now where they look. And then what they did a juice cleanse. So they just went and started juice carrot and celery and attempt to cleanse themselves. And what eventually happened to them, in about 3 to 4 days, they started to get headaches, and then they got the breakouts, and they got very sick, and that their skin ended up like that. So what that was is exactly what I'm trying to help you, or to not happen to you. You must hydrate the body properly before you do any type of detox, especially the Santulan. Okay, Ms. Jack, you don't necessarily have to get the 3 bottles of water. If you are accustomed using alkaline water, what I could suggest for you, because at the end of the day, we could always better our best and we want excellent results. What you can do, Ms. Jack, is use the 3 bottles of water with your Santulan. I don't know how you maintain your water, but I know you are someone who use the products from Batson Associates. So the possibility exists you may not necessarily have to, but there is always an advantage in using it, if you understand what I'm saying. And Margot correctly said it just before I was going to say it. It is called healing crisis. They have a huge medical term for it, or it's known as hexaminer syndrome, right? Where toxins leave the body faster than you want it to leave itself. Because you see, what people have to understand, a lot of people come to you and they want immediate results. And I just make sure I'm put in your place one time. You cannot be sick for 19,000 years. When God said, let there be light, you were sick from the founding of the earth. And you expect to come and get better in 1 month. No. If that's what you're thinking, I do work with the Smurfs, I do work with the Tooth Fairy, I do work with Santa Claus, I do have colleagues. They are not my colleagues. So I don't know about magic and witchcraft and fairy dust and that kind of thing. Things don't operate so. You need to go through the paces in order to get good health. Good health doesn't come to you just like that. You have to take care of yourself. And the thing is, we need to be balanced. You know, you live, I'm not saying once in a while you'll go out, you'll stick a splurge, you might eat, you know, a certain type of food. But if you consistently consume large amounts of sugar, you consume hydrogenated fats, you are inactive. How you make your bed, you know the old people ever saying, how you make your bed, that's the way you lie. There are some people, they blatantly licorice, they eat everything in sight. That is greediness. You cannot be greedy. If you're greedy, stop it. You have to have some balance in taking care of yourself. There are some people who want to do everything bad. Everything. You smoke. You're using drugs. You like alcohol. So it's not like one drink, two drink. You drink it for the whole world like it have nothing. You're not exercising. So you don't even take a little run. You don't even take a little jog. You're eating foolishness. And then eventually you get sick. You go, they tell you, hey, why you think it have people who take in with pain? And when you go to the hospital, you all ever heard stories about that? There are people who take in with pain. Sharp pain. All of a sudden they get a pain. The abdomen, the back, the head. And when you go to the hospital and they do CT scans on you, it's because you have to get an emergency surgery. And then sometimes doctors, they realize you have a tumor. Sometimes they tell you, here what, stage 5 cancer, you know. Make your will and go and meet your maker. And that's a sad thing, but it's a reality. And I always tell persons, sickness is cumulative and progressive. You do not get sick in one day. You cannot become a diabetic in one day. You cannot become hypertensive in one day. You cannot become obese in one day. You cannot get inflammatory bowel condition in one day. You cannot get stomach ulcers in one day. You cannot. Why do you think when people are diagnosed with cancer, you don't realize most people find out they have cancer at what stage? Stage 4, stage 5. You don't know cancer have stage 1, 2, 3. So it means that was growing inside of you there all the time, and you pour you a mind in your business, so you don't know better. And then they tell you, hey, you have cancer. Right? So mind your business and take care of yourself. We have preventative maintenance. Santulan is preventative maintenance. Circulation tea is preventative maintenance. Alkagen water is preventative maintenance. Just like how you have a car, and every 5,000 kilometers you need to go and service your vehicle. And every 20,000 kilometers you need to do a general service. You change everything. The same thing as the body. When last you change your filter? Tell me. When last you do that? Men, there are plenty young people right now. Young men, erection issues. You cannot handle yourself. You're too young for that. You're too young for that. And listen to me, when that is happening to you, that is an indication of serious cardiovascular problems. If it is you do not maintain proper erection. If it is you find every morning, most of the time as a man, you're supposed to get up with some sort of what we call a pee stand. Now, as you go down in age, it mightn't be as, you know, but you're supposed to be seeing something. And the better you take care of yourself, is the better the situation would be. You know what they say? Happy wife, happy life. Okay, this our friend with this wonderful name. Girl, you need to tell me how you're pronouncing that name. You know, I see knees, so is Iwi Nini 25. Girl, well, I don't know if it's a female. Where you get that name from? Anyway, funny story, Doc. I bought a pack of your Santulan and I lost it. But God is greater. I will be back again. Next time I'm coming for a consultation too. Okay, good, no problem. Margot says, thank you for your wonderful eye optics formula. Watching from Florida. You're very welcome, my dear. I'm so glad to hear that. Sharon Theodore says, LOL, haha. Hazel Cummins, love how you call a spade a spade. You don't hold water in your mouth to talk. Yeah, I don't have time for that, man. Life too short for that. Okay, so again, those telephone numbers and location, those of you who were waiting on Santulan, know that we have your Santulan available for you. You can call the office or WhatsApp us on 314-9975 and have your Santulan. Okay, uniqueness. All right. Oh, I follow you, my dear. All right, uniqueness. Yeah. Good. So you're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson Associates, where we support your health naturally. She spoke about the eye optics formula, great product for the eyes. And as I always tell persons, you know, when I started to do this job 14 years ago, in fact, I was doing it before that, but I think, so let's say about 16 years ago, you know, I went from strength to strength after God. And, you know, I was able, thank God, to help so many persons and, you know, really help them to feel better, look better. And you have to understand that, you know, you need to take care of yourself. It's very costly when you get sick. Very, very costly. You know, I know persons who would have had insurance policies that could even, it reached a point where it couldn't even facilitate what they had to do. And they had to go into personal savings there. They had to sell their house there. And they still ended up dying. I mean, all of us have to die someday, depending on you know, your level of spirituality and what you believe. I'm not getting into persons' beliefs, but, you know, that's something, a reality that all of us have to face. But is the sufferation, as they say, is the suffering is what you do not want. Also, check out we have a question someone is asking about our Nerve Restore. Yes, we have Nerve Restore in stock. One of my most favorite products. I use it now on a regular basis. I use it today. It helps me to deal with stress, believe me, and because I have a lot right now, especially after God. But God is good, you know, and it really helps you sleep. It really gives you the ability. You can actually look at the post. There's a post we have online where we actually quoted some individuals who would have used the product. And a lot of persons have gotten exceptionally good results. Now, what you have to understand with people, some people come to you sicker than others. This is the next thing I need to clarify for you. So there are a lot of persons at times that come to you and they're really ill. Do not use the results that your sister or your brother, cousin get and gauge yourself with it. This is the next thing that people need to do. So, you know, you got to use your upstairs properly, right? You know, the old people, they have a saying, go for luck is not see for luck, right? So you have to understand that not because your neighbor come to Batson Associates and your neighbor might be a diabetic and your neighbor came to Batson Associates, they use the blood sugar complex, they use the Nerve Restore, they use the Alkagen water, they use the circulation regeneration tea, they use the circulation tea, and they got great results in a month. That is going to happen to you. You might require 2 months. You might require 3. You might require 2 weeks. Different strokes for different folks. Please keep that in mind. I think that's basic common sense. I'm not attempting to be facetious or insultive in any way, but you need to think about it, right? You know, Batson Associates continue to work assiduously to assist you with your health. You know, I often wonder what the big fuss is about as it relates to supplementation, because what supplements are is basically food in different forms, and a lot of people don't understand that. Quite unfortunate for them. And you know, a lot of persons, which is why sometimes when people come to us and we send you for supplemental blood tests and that type of thing, because we do our work based on information. It's not a guesswork here, right? You know, to give you the results that you want. And then of course there is retesting, there is reaffirming, you know, or comparing previous results with your newer results. So if there is improvement, the improvement is going to be there. We're going to see it. We can't lie. We don't own the labs that you're going to. Those are independent labs. So it's just helping you to understand that if you really want results Forget all the fluff and all the extra thing. That's not your business. You focus on you. Because let me tell you something. When the mess hit the fan, is you have to deal with it. I have dealt with thousands of sick people in my life. And I know there is nobody on the face of the earth could tell me they like to be sick. If you like to be sick, then you need your brains, well, not your brain, the psychosis or the psychology of you need to be examined because it means something not right with you. Who loves to be sick? Nobody. Nobody. When you get up in the morning, and if you're somebody who into gardening, you want to go and walk your dog, you have your children, you get up, you play with your son, your daughter, whatever the case may be, you take them, you carry them to school. If you can't do that, and you're not around, who will take care of them for you? Who will do that for you? Nobody. Nobody will love you more than you. I always tell persons, the only entity, and the other reason why I say an entity, because God is not a human being. The only entity in this universe that I believe love you more than you is God. Your mother too, in some cases. My mother definitely, and vice versa. I love my mother all. Everything. And my family. Right? So you have to love you and take care of you. Money, you don't have $1 million to come to Batson Associates. Don't worry yourself. And we do good work. There's a reason why we have the reputation that we have. You're not a little issue right now, but God is good. Take what I'm telling you. That issue will fix. After God. It will fix. In the name of Almighty God, I tell you that. And I know why I'm saying this. And I know why I'm saying this here tonight. It will fix. It have to fix. Because God does sleep. And God in charge. Always. Right? So, all your mind all your business. The numbers there. Get your nerve restore. Get your circulation regeneration tea. Get your Santulan. Keep in mind those locations. We have open clinic days. So I want persons to understand that Dr. Batson, it is impossible for Dr. Batson to see everyone. We have trained consultants, and I will say it again, well-trained consultants. It's a well-oiled machine when all is going well, right? And you will get the results that you're looking for. We're having our symposium coming up, the one that would be taking place at our office rather. That is the symposium that will be taking place. That is Sunday, the 25th of August. Sunday, the 25th of August at the offices of Batson Associates. You can call, you can WhatsApp us on 314-9975 to get yourself registered for that. And of course, we have that symposium that is going to be taking place in Port of Spain, right? We're just finalizing the date because there are some other persons that have to coordinate with that. So that's something to look out to or look out for. The balanced circulation, not balanced circulation, sorry. Yes, the balanced circulation, which is another circulation product that we carry, which helps with things like venous insufficiency. Is a very good product for those of you who have things like pins and needles, cramping in your calves, burning under your feet, that type of thing. We also have that product on special for this month. The circulation regeneration tea is also on special this month. So this is a month we're doing a lot of specials for circulation. We're doing specials as regards to the nerve restore. That program, I actually have a program tomorrow night, God's willing, at 8. It's usually 8:30, but I know they put it for 8, so I'm going to do it for 8. And that is the program on hormonal disruption in women. You know, a lot of women, as I mentioned before, suffer from issues with PMS. They have so much challenges as it relates to depression, anxiety, weakness in the legs. Listen to me, ladies. When I speak, sometimes I wonder if they understand what I'm saying. I don't know if there's anybody on this live here, because we have a lot of people on the live. I know a lot of people don't want to put out the business there and that kind of thing, and I can respect that. We're not telling you to do that. But ladies, any one of you on this live ever had problems with hormonal disruption? Any one of you ever had problems with hot flashes when you was going through menopause? You feel like you're going mad, you have depression, you have anxiety, you have insomnia, or you know of anyone who experiencing that? Let me tell you something. That thing is so bad that it gives you suicidal thoughts. These women, they sit down and rationalize to kill themselves, you know. You can imagine you come one day and it's because your wife dead, your daughter dead, kill themselves, take the life. I don't think I can deal with something like that. I don't want to have to deal with something like that. And I don't believe you want to have to deal with something like that either. So you need to mind your business and take care of yourself. Ladies, let me tell you something. When you reach an age, and women for some reason just be glad when the menstrual cycle done. And I could understand why, because a menstrual cycle is not something that women look forward to. In some cases, they have a lot of pain, whatever the case may be. Keep in mind that's something we deal with at Batson Associates. Keep in mind we do run an open clinic day where you could have walk-ins, just come in. But keep in mind, if you plan on doing that test special that we carry, which is your magnetic resonance analysis, your dry blood testing and your live blood testing, together with your consultation and the complimentary food detox, you must fast for 2 hours. You hear what I'm saying? You must fast for 2 hours. Good? But we do take walk-ins. The telephone numbers are there. Keep in mind the location of those clinics. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That's Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That telephone number, of course, is there, 222-8261. Right at the bottom of your screen. We are located in Red Edge Mall. That's Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number, of course, is down there. You could WhatsApp us on 314-9975. So you could always send a message. My name is so-and-so. I need to get information on ABC, or I need to get my Santulan. Keep in mind, we have Santulan in stock. Make sure and get your supply. Keep in mind, the price of that product has changed. And as I told someone, that product remained one price for 14 years. So it's time for it to change. Okay? Respect the order of things as regards to inflation and that kind of thing. You can't expect that product to remain. Things don't work so. The world don't operate like that. Okay? Ms. June Jatan says, yes, damn doc, you hit the nail on the head. Thank you so very much. So let's do what it is we need to do to get ourselves better. Also, keep in mind, Uniqueness says, I remember someone selling a product for menopause, reported that women long ago didn't know how to deal with it and committed suicide. Yeah, listen to me, hormonal disruption is that. And the reason why I am so passionate about this and I speak about it, because I know there are a lot of people out there who do not know what to do. They would go to the doctor. The medication is recommended, and I am not criticizing anyone. Listen to what it is I'm saying. I am simply saying that there are varying opinions and there are varying ways to deal with certain things. So a lot of the times you may need a particular type of medication. However, what is the root cause of your problem? Why, as a female, you having this problem with weakness? Why are you feeling you're going out of your mind? Why are you feeling you cannot sleep? Sleep deprivation is one of the, do you know the World Health Organization has estimated that that millions, hundreds of millions of people in this world today suffer from sleep deprivation. And as a result of that, it takes away 14 years of their lifespan. You know that? People who work shift, if you work night, you might be a nurse, you might be a doctor, hardworking, you might be a security officer, you might be shift. There are people who work shift there. The way the world runs in financial institutions, in banks and that kind of thing, call centers, people work shift. If you work shift and you miss night sleep, you need to take care of yourself. There was a study they did some years ago, a clinical study, that showed that people who lose night sleep lose average 7 to 14 years of their lifespan. You understand why I just tell you that? They lose 7 to 14 years of their lifespan. That's madness. You can imagine you're dead at 70 when you're really supposed to be 84. 14 years, you lose. That's a grand or a great grand or a great grand that you didn't get to see, or something that you didn't get to experience. No, that don't make any sense. So feel free, of course, to give us a call or visit. Those telephone numbers and locations are there. You are listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. Keep in mind our Tobago office as well. I put the information there for the Tobago office. That Tobago office, we will actually be doing some work in Tobago this coming week here. So, you know, you could always call that telephone number, those of you in Tobago. And of course, Tobago would also as well have their Santulan available. So, of course, you can call and ensure that you get your supply. Also, inflammation formula, because I know we had a little situation with that inflammation formula there. So, we ensure that we're working assiduously to rectify that situation for you guys. Okay? Keep in mind again, that symposium that we are having, that symposium is going to be taking place on Sunday, the 25th of August at our head office in Chaguanas. And that's 182 Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. Keep in mind the specials that we have: the circulation regeneration tea, the balanced circulation, the nerve restore, as well as our promotion with our pensioners, senior citizens. So we actually have that pensioner special that has returned, or that we have decided to bring back, you know, to assist our pensioners. It's always good to take care of the elderly. I always tell people, you know, a country based on how they treat their children and their elderly. These are people who would have paved the way for us and have done so many things. So we need to ensure that we take very, very good care of them. That circulation regeneration tea, very important. You know, improves circulation, reduces inflammation, cleans the respiratory system. So the thing is, the circulation regeneration tea doesn't only work for some of the other things that I mentioned there with the circulation, but one of the things it also assists with is a powerful antioxidant. It improves liver health. It regulates blood sugar levels. You know, a lot of diabetics, that's something that you would want to look at and pay attention to. So, you know, feel free again to give us a call or visit us. Those telephone numbers, of course, for the Tobago office there, the ones that office in Tobago is located at the Triangle Building. That's opposite Wassa, Scarborough. And you can call those telephone numbers. The telephone numbers are there: 226-4553 or 312-4248. Again, that's 226-4553 or 312-4248. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the senior consultant at Batson Associates. And in addition to that, sorry, there's a question someone asked that sort of distracted me. Keep in mind that telephone number and those locations to come and have your test. We're having a big sale on Nerve Restore there. We put it there. That helps, as I said, with sleep deprivation, depression, anxiety, brain function, memory loss. It also helps to improve fertility and even testosterone levels in men. So men, it could actually help with your erection as well as male function. So that's something that you can call and come in and get that particular product. Keep in mind as well, our magnetic resonance analysis, that blood, that live blood and dry blood analysis, very important in assisting individuals in doing so many things, you know, assisting in cleansing and detoxifying the body, or rather the blood analysis, sorry, in terms of determining a number of different issues. So a lot of the times, and that's why I tell persons, the symptomology a lot of the time is not important. Your symptomology is a secondary, tertiary result of a primary issue. Something down there: bad digestion, acid reflux, poor gastrointestinal health, poor liver health, now have you, sorry, in the situation that you're in here. So it's vitally important that you ensure you dot your I's and you cross your T's. So feel free, of course, to give us a call or visit. Those telephone numbers and locations are there. Keep in mind those open clinic days. We always have a consultant in an office. It doesn't take anything, you know, the telephone company say call first, right? You can always call, but we do not turn away walk-ins, right? We make sure and we deal with you. We make sure and address what we need to address when you come to us. So again, as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Again, those announcements, look out for that circulation regeneration tea, which is on special. We also have our nerve resource. So circulation regeneration tea actually helps to regulate blood sugar levels. It is excellent for hypertension. Excellent. I've gotten extremely good results with persons with high blood pressure. They still have to use their medication, but the blood pressure is significantly better. And that is good news for them, because when you have elevated blood pressure, especially pulmonary hypertension, for extended periods of time, God forbid, your death is not going to be a nice death. That is going to be some sort of pulmonary accident. You end up with pulmonary embolism. You end up with an ischemic stroke or a hemorrhagic stroke. You don't want that to happen. Bleeding in your brain. No, serious issues. So again, keep in mind those telephone numbers and locations, the specials. Check out our Alkagen water, premium Alkagen water. So if you know you're planning to do the detox with the Santulan, which we have in stock, keep in mind that we recommend that you do not want healing crisis. We know you want your Santulan, you want to lose the weight, you want to increase energy, you want to sleep well, you want nice skin, you want your hair to grow thick and nice. We want that for you. But make sure and do your Alkagen water. We recommend at least 6 bottles. You do that, hydrate the body, get things moving, and use your Santulan. We would always give you the necessary advice as it relates to you. Okay, guys? So take care, enjoy. Remember that program that we have tomorrow night, which is 8 p.m. That is the 5-part series that we're doing on hormonal disruption for women. So that is going to be taking place tomorrow. That is tomorrow, which is Monday the 29th at 8 p.m. right here. So tell your friends, share this live, like us, tag us, and of course, spread the message to help someone to help themselves. Again, you have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson Associates, where we support your health naturally. Take care, guys. God bless, and do enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe. Take care. Bye-bye.